How a transmission works, the types of components, the repair, the history, and the latest technology are discussed in this video. Transmission components and repair guide. What is a transmission? Let's briefly explain that a car's transmission is a key system that transfers power from the engine to the wheels. Highlight its importance for speed control, torque distribution, and fuel efficiency. The historical background. The concept of transmission was first introduced in the late 19th century, around 1894. Early manual transmissions, known as sliding gear systems, were pioneered by inventors like Emile Levasseur. Fast forward to today's modern cars have advanced transmissions such as CVTs and dual clutch systems. Why understanding transmissions matters. Helps you maintain your car. Enables informed decisions during repairs. Basic principles. Explain how the engine produces rotational power or torque. Describe how the transmission adjusts torque and speed through different gear ratios to ensure smooth acceleration or deceleration. Shifting gears. Manual driver uses a clutch and gear stick. Automatic sensors and hydraulics select gears automatically. Here is a description of power flow. Input shaft receives engine torque. Gear trains modify torque and send it to the output shaft. Types of transmissions. Manual transmission MT requires a clutch pedal and gear shift, known for driver control and durability. Automatic transmission AT uses a torque converter and planetary gear system for seamless shifting. Continuously variable transmission CVT features a belt and pulley system offering infinite gear ratios for efficiency. Dual clutch transmission DCT combines the speed of manual transmission with automatic ease. Semi-automatic transmission SAT allows manual gear shifting without a clutch pedal. Tiptronic transmission enables manual-like gear control in an automatic system. Electric vehicle EV transmissions. Simplified systems are usually single-speed due to the broad torque range of electric motors. Main components of a transmission. Clutch manual engages, disengages power flow. Torque converter automatic transfers power without a clutch. The gearbox adjusts torque and speed. Input shaft transfers engine power to gears. Output shaft sends adjusted power to the drivetrain. Synchromesh manual matches gear speeds for smooth shifting. Hydraulic system automatic controls gear shifts with fluid pressure. How to maintain and repair a transmission. Maintenance tips. Check transmission fluid. Use the dipstick to inspect levels and condition. Replace fluid every 30,000 to 60,000 miles. Avoid overheating. Install a transmission cooler if towing heavy loads. Inspect for leaks. Look for red or dark fluid under your car. Drive smoothly. Avoid harsh accelerations and braking. Repair steps example for automatic transmission. Diagnosis. Use an OBD2 scanner to check for transmission error codes. Listen for unusual noises or jerking movements during gear shifts. Drain the fluid. Place a pan under the transmission. Remove the drain plug and let the fluid out. Replace the filter. Unscrew and replace the old filter. Inspect the pan and magnet. Clean the pan and check for metal shaving sign of wear. Refill with transmission fluid. Pour in the recommended type and quantity of fluid using a funnel. Test drive. Ensure smooth gear shifting and no leaks. Comparing early transmissions to modern ones. The first manual systems required complex operations. Modern systems like DCTs and CVTs enhance efficiency, performance, and ease of use. Future trends. Electric vehicles and smart transmissions incorporating AI are leading the way. Advancements focus on efficiency and reduction. Why it matters. Understanding your transmission empowers you as a driver. How an automatic transmission works, from engine startup to driving, shifting gears, and slowing down. How an automatic transmission works in real time. Engine startup. When you start the engine, the crankshaft begins spinning, producing torque. This torque is transferred to the torque converter, which acts as a coupling device between the engine and the transmission. The automatic transmission stays in park or neutral until the gear selector is moved. Shifting into gear from park or neutral. Moving the gear selector to drive activates the hydraulic system inside the transmission. Hydraulic pressure engages the appropriate components in the planetary gear set, which connects the engine to the output shaft. The torque converter smoothly transfers power from the engine to the transmission without needing a clutch. Driving and gear shifting. Power transmission. The input shaft receives torque from the engine and passes it to the planetary gear system. The planetary gears adjust the torque and speed depending on the selected gear ratio. The adjusted power is sent through the output shaft to the drive shaft, which rotates the wheels. How automatic gear shifting works. The transmission uses sensors to monitor vehicle speed, engine RPM, and throttle position. Based on this data, the hydraulic system activates specific clutches and bands to select the appropriate gear in the planetary gear set. The torque converter accommodates changes in speed, ensuring smooth and efficient gear shifts without interrupting power flow. Cruising. When driving at a steady speed, the transmission maintains a higher gear ratio for fuel efficiency. Slowing down deceleration. Downshifting. As you release the accelerator and press the brake, sensors detect the reduction in speed. The hydraulic system automatically engages lower gear ratios in the planetary gear set to provide the necessary torque for slowing down. Engine braking. The torque converter absorbs some of the braking energy, which helps reduce the load on the braking system. Stopping. When the car comes to a complete stop, the transmission shifts to its lowest gear to prepare for acceleration. This streamlined process eliminates the need for a clutch or manual gear changes, making automatic transmissions easy to operate with just the brake and accelerator pedals. The combination of the planetary gear system, torque converter, and hydraulic controls ensures seamless transitions at all driving speeds. Here's a detailed step-by-step guide for repairing an automatic transmission, using a B13 transmission as an example, while highlighting critical parts, tools, and precautions. How to repair an automatic transmission using a B13 transmission, for example. An automatic transmission is a complex system requiring precision. The B13 transmission, commonly found in Nissan Sentra models, serves as an excellent example for this repair guide. This process will cover removing the transmission from the car, disassembling it on the workbench, replacing or repairing essential components, reassembly and installation, tools needed, basic tools, socket set, wrenches, screwdrivers, pliers, and torque wrench, specialized tools, transmission jack or engine hoist, snap ring pliers, seal puller and installer, clutch spring compressor, dial indicator for measuring end play, cleaning tools, parts cleaner or solvent, clean workspace and lint-free rags, consumables, transmission fluid, gaskets, seals and O-rings, assembly lubricant, steps to repair the transmission. Step 1. Removing the transmission from the car. Preparation. Disconnect the battery to prevent electrical damage. Raise the vehicle with a jack and secure it with jack stands. Drain the transmission fluid by removing the drain plug or pan. Disconnect components. Detach the drive shaft or CV axles. Unbolt the transmission mount and brackets. Disconnect wiring harnesses, cooler lines, and shift linkage. Engine transmission separation. Use an engine hoist to support the engine. Remove the bell housing bolts connecting the transmission to the engine. Slide the transmission away from the engine using a transmission jack. Step 2. Disassembling the transmission on the workbench. Initial inspection. Examine the exterior for damage or cracks. Remove the transmission pan and inspect for metal debris. Access internal components. Unbolt the valve body controls hydraulic fluid flow. Carefully remove the clutches, bands, planetary gears, and torque converter. Keep parts organized to avoid misplacement, or lay them in accordance. Make sure no kids around playing. Critical parts to handle with care. Valve body extremely sensitive. Dirt or improper assembly can cause failure. Clutch packs fragile and must be replaced if worn. Seals and gaskets ensure proper fit to avoid leaks. Torque converter check for wear or contamination. Step 3. Repairing and replacing parts. Clutch replacement. Use a clutch spring compressor to remove and replace the worn clutches. Install new friction discs and steel plates in the correct facing. Ensure proper stacking order as per the service manual. Seal and gasket replacement. Replace all seals, O-rings, and gaskets to prevent leaks. Use a seal installer to avoid damaging the new seals. Valve body service. Clean and inspect the valve body for blockages or damage. Replace solenoids if necessary. Inspect and replace bands and planetary gears. Check for wear or damage on bands and planetary gears. Replace damaged components with OEM or high-quality parts. Step 4. Reassembling the transmission. Reassemble the components in the reverse order of disassembly. Ensure all parts are clean and properly lubricated. Torque all bolts to the manufacturer's specifications. Test the valve body by manually shifting through gears. Use a photo if you're not full sure and take photos as you go along. Step 5. Installing the transmission back into the car. Attach the transmission to the engine and secure with bell housing bolts. Reconnect all components, mounts, axles, linkage, and wiring. This is a great time to check or change the engine flywheel. Make sure the flywheel is placed with the correct facing out. Refill with the specified type and quantity of transmission fluid to the correct level marked at the bottom of the dipstick. Lower the car and reconnect the battery. Sensitive parts to handle carefully. Valve body. Incorrect assembly or debris can cause shifting problems. Seals and O-rings misalignment can lead to leaks. Snap rings. Ensure proper placement to avoid component misalignment. Torque converter. Always pre-fill with transmission fluid before installation. Final testing. Start the engine and check for leaks. Test drive the car, monitoring for smooth shifting and unusual noises. Recheck fluid levels and top off if necessary. Troubleshooting to help identify and address common transmission problems. Tips for diagnosing common transmission problems: slipping gears. Symptoms: engine revs increase without a corresponding rise in speed. Difficulty staying in gear. Possible causes: worn clutch packs, low or contaminated transmission fluid, faulty solenoids in the valve body. Solution: check fluid levels and replace if low or dirty. Inspect and replace worn clutch components. Hard shifting. Symptoms: irking or resistance when shifting gears. Possible causes: low hydraulic pressure due to a failing pump, dirty or blocked valve body passages, faulty sensors. Solution: clean or replace the valve body. Inspect and replace malfunctioning sensors. Delayed engagement. Symptoms: the car hesitates when shifting into drive or reverse. Possible causes: worn seals cause pressure loss, low transmission fluid, failing torque converter. Solution: Replace damaged seals. Top off or flush the transmission fluid. Transmission overheating. Symptoms: warning light on the dashboard. Burning smell from the transmission area. Possible causes: insufficient fluid levels. Overloaded transmission. Clogged transmission cooler lines. Solution: flush and refill fluid. Inspect cooler lines for blockages and clean or replace them. Leaking transmission fluid. Symptoms: red or brown puddles under the car. Possible causes: worn gaskets, seals, or pan bolts. Solution: replace gaskets, seals, and tighten bolts to specifications. No movement in any gear. Symptoms: the car does not move when in gear. Possible causes: completely worn clutch packs, damaged planetary gear set, failed torque converter. Solution: replace clutch packs or planetary gears. Inspect and replace the torque converter. General troubleshooting tips: scan for error codes. Use an OBD2 scanner to identify electronic faults. Inspect the fluid. Brown or burnt-smelling fluid indicates overheating or wear. Metal shavings in the fluid suggest internal damage. Listen for noises. Grinding or whining sounds may indicate a failing pump or gear damage. Perform a pressure test. Use a transmission pressure gauge to check for proper hydraulic function. These are the most common issues with car transmissions. I hope the information was helpful and gave you a better understanding of how automatic transmissions work and how to repair them. If you found this content useful, and see you in the next one. Discover how automatic transmissions work and learn the step-by-step process of repairing a B13 automatic transmission. This video explains the essential components, including the valve body, clutch packs, torque converter, and planetary gears, and highlights their roles during driving. Follow detailed instructions on removing, disassembling, and reassembling the transmission while identifying critical parts to handle with care. We also cover tools needed for the job and troubleshooting common transmission issues like slipping gears and fluid leaks. Perfect for car enthusiasts and DIY mechanics. This guide simplifies complex repairs with practical tips and visuals. Don't miss this comprehensive tutorial on maintaining and repairing automatic transmissions. We have covered automatic transmission, B13 transmission, repair, clutch packs, torque converter, valve body, car maintenance, transmission troubleshooting. Thanks for watching.